Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and tonight I'm joined by Eric.
And I'm Morgan Fairchild, your host that will not host the program.
Tonight we are basically just giving our thoughts on the General Hospital special that aired last night. It was titled General Hospital 60 Years of Stars and Storytelling. Well, I
Say
remember
that
that
again.
on my own.
What was that called?
Yeah, we're just going to give our thoughts on how it was produced, what we liked, what we didn't like, and what we thought maybe could have been included.
hmm
We'll roll the credits and we will get right into it. So right off the bat, I forgot that Donna Mills and Morgan Fairchild were going to be like in it. I
I
was going to say
tagged you
hosting,
just
but
like
that's
two
not
days
appropriate.
ago. I just tagged you 2 days ago.
I know, but I already forgot.
First of all, you cannot forget these soap divas. I'd strangle you if I were there.
But like, how fun that they just did a TV movie together, and now they get to do this together. Like, one thing about those
Right.
two, they will always have a job. They always work. They always have something.
I'm like, I love them. Just seeing them, yes. So, all right, so they're in the beginning, right?
Hmm. In
They both have this little
the makeup room, the makeup
the
trailer, whatever
makeup
it is.
room. They're like, oh, I didn't know you're here. You know, the old fake didn't know you're here type thing. And then they make a little comment, two blondes are better than one.
Right.
And then you don't see them again. They talk about they talk about their little stints on General Hospital and they're not hosting. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, what? I'm expecting to see them like Laura Wright. Like Laura Wright was hosting.
Well,
What is happening?
to be
What?
fair, I think they did say that they were opening the
Oh,
show.
is this what's opening?
Yeah, I did also take away that they would be hosting, but I think they did say that they would be opening.
Because they said
But I
hosting.
think she's like, "Oh, I'm opening the show," and she's like, "Well, I am too." I think that's how the
Oh,
thought.
is it opening? I thought
Yeah,
you said hosting. Damn, I gotta pay attention.
yeah. And then
Well,
I
it was a good
thought, are they gonna do the soapy like cat fight thing right now? And they didn't. Then they did the whole two blondes are better than one thing.
Yeah, I know. I kind of thought it was going a cat fight way too, but they tricked me.
It was
When you
cute
think
that they got them and fitting because they both
it
had been
was,
on the show.
they were both on, and I feel like Donna Mills was on for recurring. I feel like at least a year,
Yeah.
maybe a little longer, because I know
Hmm.
she came back at one point, and I
Yeah.
also know that she left because she said it was a lot. It was too much work. She didn't want to work that much, and they work a lot. So actors work a lot.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to do it. And I found that out by a General Hospital person, so I know for a fact. Got it straight out of Kathleen Gotti's mouth. But
um,
because I had mentioned I went to a fan event with her and I mentioned that I liked having Donna Mills on, and that's what she told me. And then I'm like, oh, because they killed her like off screen,
mhm,
and Donna Mills' character, and I'm like, well, when they kill you off screen, you're not dead. You know, like
mhm.
that's just how it is. But Kathleen Gotti's like, I think she's not coming back. I'm like, oh, all right.
Well, Morgan even said to her because she said that her character's dead. She met her untimely death in prison. She said, and Morgan
Right.
even said, "She's like, you never know."
I mean, it would be great because I would love to see Donna Mills act with Cynthia Watros. It's her mom, so I
Oh,
would
that would
love
be
that.
great. Oh my god, I would love
I know.
that.
I know. But
um,
anywho, let's move on.
so as far as like the clips that were shown, the really emotional stuff, I was like, oh my god, like this is really good. Like it made me want to watch it.
hmm Yeah,
And this is what
it's
sucks
true.
about soap operas because you can't be like, all right, oh, I'll just watch like season 2, episode 17. You have to watch like multiple episodes of like a time period to get the full
Right.
impact of what's happening.
Yeah.
That is my one
Yep.
gripe with soap operas. Because
Yeah.
every emotional thing, I was like, oh my god, I want to watch this. I want to cry. Like I want to watch this.
Honestly, I felt this special needed to be 2 hours. It needed to be 2 hours. I
So
felt
okay,
I
they
liked what they did. in the hour, but like it needed 2 hours.
At
That's all.
first, I was like, "Is this gonna be like a variety show? Like that we're doing like the red carpet
Tap
things?"
dance.
And it's just like, "Ha ha ha!" And then we're showing bloopers. The bloopers were funny. I like the
They
bloopers.
were funny. They were.
I liked when Finola was like, "You had 2 lines."
You had
And
two lines.
Tristan
Kristen
was like,
Rogers.
"It's good to be home," or something like that.
It's good to be home. Getting yelled
Look
at
at
by
him.
his one of
She
his
was like, "You had
wives.
2 lines."
And he fucked up. That was great.
And I liked when, Maura West couldn't keep a straight face with Wally Curve.
Yeah, he's trying to get it out. She was too like in the moment. She lost it.
So, I guess GH gets multiple takes still, or it's in situations like that, they just don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice. If you fuck up, you fuck up.
Right. I guess
I'm
it's
sure Days has some.
I guess it's, like, strongly frowned upon, but, like, when you're laughing and stuff like that's happening, like, you know.
Right, right. I mean, they're film. They think they film like 3 episodes a day, which is like insane.
Yeah.
Like they used to actually do just like one a day or one a week or something like that. Like it was like I don't know. It's so different now. They say.
So, they did show scenes related to, like, what some of the actors were talking about, like, we saw John Stamos, and we got to see his character, which was cool.
Hmm.
And then they just, like, basically just, like, word vomited other actors that had been on the show and just, like, flashed, like, their faces or whatever.
Right, which is fine. I like
Yeah.
that was fine.
Um, I kinda wish, because there were things that they mentioned that they didn't show scenes of, and this is where it could have
Yeah.
benefited from being longer, and I had actually
Hmm.
texted Lynn, I said, "If this was the '90s, it would have been, like, 2 or 3 hours long."
Yeah, for sure.
Um, I wish there were more older clips. There was a lot of, like, last 10-year clips.
I felt like they mixed them good. There was a lot. I have a lot of 83, 81. There was a lot of 81 clips. I wish there was more clips. Like I felt like the nurses ball stuff.
Mhm.
But why didn't you show clips? They showed like one or two clips of like Josh Swickard. Like why didn't they have a little Lynn Herring like like a montage of some sort? Like
Yeah,
that's all they needed for that. A
yeah.
little like flip through like all because it's been since the 90s.
It felt like a lot of fast talking, and they were as
Hmm.
they walked through the set, and then it just kept on moving, 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 and I don't know. The
And
talking felt like a lot versus we could have seen more clips.
but the talking was very repetitive too. It was like
Yeah.
60 years. I actually said if you make a drinking game every time they say 60 years, you're good to go. Like
Mhm.
it's a 40-minute show, you're going to be wasted. 60 years, 60 years, 60 years.
Like when Maurice and Nancy had their little bit, they could have showed scenes of Alexis and Sunny when they hooked up.
Right. But
Um,
then they were just talking about like the more serious storylines, um,
yeah, they
which happened to feature Maurice Bernard.
I feel like a staple of any GH special should be Robin and Stone. Like they should show a clip from that.
Did they even mention Robin? I
No,
don't think
we
they
like I
did.
feel like we saw a picture of her when she was a kid, and that was
Like
it.
I know she doesn't want to act again, but I feel like she probably would have come back for this special.
Yeah.
Or
I literally was like, I'm mad, and I like took this note. I was like, they didn't even show Jeannie Francis like in on there, and then she was on at the end, and I was like, fine.
yeah, I knew they were saving her for the end. I
Mhm.
figured that, because it's Jeannie Francis.
One thing I
But
really did like, I've always heard about the scene of Tracy standing over Edward
Edward,
as he had
uh-huh,
his heart attack. That
yeah,
was the first time I had ever seen it. I loved it. That was
it
great.
was good. So that's you can get that on. You can find that online. They did the first time I saw that they did a show which you probably heard of, A Daytime to Remember,
Mhm.
when they canceled the city, I believe, right before Port Charles came on. They did A Daytime to Remember, and they did all classic One Life to Live, All My Children, but they cut the shit out of them. They were like half hour long. 20 minutes if you cut the commercials. So they cut the shit out of it. But they did it in two parts sometimes. So like that episode was one of them. And so that's when the first time I saw that was
Okay.
and it's a good episode to watch the whole thing too. It's a good one to watch. Um
Yeah, I had always
but
heard
yeah,
about it, like, on podcasts or just, like, on
yeah.
message boards, but I had never actually seen it, so
It's
I could see why it's so iconic.
it's
Um,
chilling.
yeah.
Because you're
She's like
like,
she's
this
like, "Just rip
bitch,
it up. Just rip up the will," and I'm just like, "What is
like
happening?"
this bitch is letting her dad die. Like
Right.
it's intense. And for her to like still be around, like as a character that's not in prison, she's out and about, like
Well, so I texted
funny.
Lynn about that scene, and he told me that, he was actually faking it, but
Oh,
still, she
was
was
he?
gonna let him die.
Right. I didn't remember that he was faking it.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the
Also,
next
I know it's
episode.
on I just haven't gotten around to watching it. Um, I've seen, like, one clip of when it happens, but Heather Weber on LSD, when she, like, tried to drug somebody and the I guess, tea cozy or whatever it is turned, and she ended up drinking it.
Oh, I didn't see that. No, that sounds like a fun
Yeah,
thing.
that's on YouTube somewhere.
Which Heather? There's three of them or four of them.
I don't know. I think it's Heather, Mattson?
Is it Robin Manson?
Robin Mattson. I think it's her, but she's
Um,
really young, so I can't tell.
yeah, because I think there was actually I always thought it was Robin Manson from the beginning, but there was actually two actresses before her that played her.
Right.
And then I think she was the longest running one. I think she was 77 to 83 or 84. And then she went to Santa Barbara.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's on Santa Barbara too.
I was surprised to see Cheryl Underwood from I don't think she's on The Talk anymore. Is she on The Talk?
She is on the talk. She's the only one left, I think. Did she? She didn't
Okay.
start on the talk. She came later, I think. But she's
Yeah,
still
but
on the talk.
I didn't know she was, like, because she always, like, gets excited about, like, soaps, like the CBS soaps, so I didn't it was so
Yes,
surprised to see her on for this.
me too. That's a note I made too, because I'm like, she always raves about Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful, and then she had some guest appearances, I think, on both, if I'm
Yeah,
not
she did. I
mistaken.
remember her being on there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just think she's an all-around soap fan. She probably just grew up on soaps because she
Yeah.
seems legit. Like, because like even for GH, because I'm like, well, it's ABC and she's on TBS. Like that doesn't usually happen. So she must be like a big
She
fan.
her and I think Mario Lopez hosted a few of the daytime Emmys that didn't air on TV.
Right, right. Yeah,
Um,
the
and I
online ones or
remember when
something,
the
right?
cast of Knots Landing had a reunion on The Talk, she, like, quickly was like,
Hmm.
"And then this happened, and then like, she did, like, a whole, like, or Knots Landing recap, like
Do you think we should try to have her on Queers and Soaps?
yeah, she'll join us. So she just ran about all her soaps.
We'll raise money just to be able to afford her appearance.
Fingers crossed, she says,
GoFundMe.
"Child, I'll do it for free."
I know, right? I'll talk
Um,
GH for 1 hour. You got 1 hour.
I didn't know that, Chandra Wilson played more than one character. Like, I knew they, like,
Yes.
let her guest spy, but I thought she always played the same character.
No. She was like I want to say she was like some kind of doctor. The first appearance she ever did, she was some kind of doctor, and then when she came back, she just like hosted the red carpet of the nurses' balls. Which
Gotcha.
the nurses' ball segment, I felt like I said, it needed clips. It needed at least 2 minutes of just like a clip, 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 clip. Like a bunch
Yeah.
of things, 90 something, 2000 something. Like kind of going on. I thought that would have been nice, and it could have been done.
Um, it was nice to see the clip of, Lois and Ned when
Hmm.
she found out he wasn't Eddie Main, because it kind of, like,
Yeah,
informs, like, what was going on the show currently,
yeah, yeah.
with the Eddie Main stuff, but God, she doesn't age. She looks almost exactly the same 30 years ago.
Yeah, she
I don't
does.
know what s products she uses, but she looks great.
She stays out of the sun because she does not. She looks pale, which is
Yeah.
good because it's good for your skin to stay out of the sun.
Yeah.
But she looks great.
Um, hopefully the fact that she did this special means she'll be sticking around for a while, because I feel like
Oh,
it's
really?
unclear, like, how long she's gonna be around.
It is unclear. I think she's just recurring. I don't
Okay.
think she's on
But I
contract.
feel like half the cast is recurring on that show. 'Cause there's, like, so
They
many
have to
people.
be. There is so many people. I wish they would expand it like to an hour and a half. Like I feel like it needs to be,
Yeah.
or bring back Port Charles and like put half the cast there
Um,
and so on.
they didn't even mention Brenda at all.
No,
That's what I feel like. I feel like there's, like, iconic things. They didn't mention BJ's heart. Like, they coulda showed BJ's heart clips.
right.
Um, like I said, the Stone, Robin and Stone clips.
They
I feel like
mentioned
they
Jackie
coulda
Newman.
showed. Oh, I laughed. Sorry. When Emma Samms came on, I literally said out loud, "I don't know you," as if you were
And
sitting there with me.
right.
I was like, "Stop
I
talking
don't
to me.
know
I don't
her.
know you."
I don't know her. I'm going to the bathroom. I don't know her. Um, yeah, and then they had a clip of her and Robert, which is a big fan base for them. Huge.
Mhm.
Like they scare me.
So I guess really
They just are very like I don't
passionate.
know, like very passionate. And
So I guess she
and
predates Anna. Like, she was on
I
before Anna.
listen, I love Emma Sands. I'm not the hugest fan of Holly. She's very like but I'm only early on. I'm 1982, 83. People don't attack me. But but very early on, and she's very like she doesn't like communicate well with people. Like they shake her all the time because she doesn't communicate. And you're just like, woman, just speak your mind. Do you love Robert? Do you love Luke? Like pick one. Like what? Like there's a lot going on. So
Mhm.
but
Um,
anyway.
props to Rebecca Herbst and, Christina Wagner for being able to fit
Mm,
into dresses from decades ago still,
especially Christina Wagner, 1986. Hello,
right? I was like, "Good for her. Good for her." That's like a 40 almost 40 years ago.
right? Like, did they spank the shit out of her, or was she just naturally thin like that?
It was funny when I saw Rebecca Herbst in a wedding dress, I'm like, "Who is she getting?" I was like, "Is she marrying Finn?" I'm like, because
Live on General Hospital Special.
I was like, "Is she, like, in between scenes right now?" And she's just, like, filming the segment.
No, and that
And
was a
even
that was a
that, when
cute.
she said, like, the first wedding to Lucky, like, they didn't show any Lucky, like, not any version of him. No clips.
No, you're right. That's what I mean. Like it needed 2 hours. Like I get it. They probably had 40 minutes. It's only 40 minutes if you cut commercials.
Yeah,
Um, and that's not enough time. Like it's 60 years in a 40-minute special. Like
yeah.
whatever. I mean, we're lucky we even got a special. So for being one of the four soaps left, which they don't even consider days on anymore because it's not on air.
Well,
So we only have three soaps on air.
Lynn has a theory about that, and I kinda tend to agree with him, is because of the writer's strike, they have limited programming, so they did this so they would have something. Because why would they do this now in January? Their 60th anniversary was last April 1st. Why wouldn't they do it
Right. Yeah, because Young and the Restless did one. They
then?
did
Right,
a special.
yeah. That but y honestly,
Um,
this kinda felt like the ones that Y&R does, where, like, the cast just kinda sits down and, like, talks, and they'll show, like, random scenes.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
or Bold. Like, Bold's I remember this because this is when I started watching Bold regularly. Like, I came on right as, like, they were going into, like, their 7,000th episode, and the
7,000.
whole 7,000th episode wasn't even, like, a real scripted episode. It was just the cast, like, talking about the show, and it was like clip, 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 clip.
I think I watched that too.
It
Do
was
you
around
remember
the
what year
time
though?
Maya's transgender storyline.
Okay, I watched them.
It happened, like, a little bit
Yeah,
after that. Yeah.
but again, Soap Brain, like, if you put on an episode now, I'd probably remember, like, it'll all come back to me. But,
Uh-huh.
but the transgender storyline was actually one of the best ones. I like that a lot. And
Yeah,
then, of course, they wrote them off. So
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Bold is terrible with writing. Oh, terrible.
But
General Hospital is pretty good. At least like they either die or disappear or leave town. But like Bold is just like they they're there, but they're not. So
I would have
it's
even liked to
weird.
have seen like them show clips of like the different Carlys.
Hmm.
Um,
They could have done a lot.
there were no like I know like not everybody likes Sam McCall, but there were no Sam McCall scenes that were shown.
No. Nope.
um,
The Stuart Damon stuff, of course, was touching.
that was
Amber
oh, it was
Tamblyn
nice to
came
see
back.
Amber Tamblyn.
Uh-huh. And she, of course, spoke for the Quartermaine clan, which was nice. It's a shame Monica couldn't be a part of the special. I guess she's that sick. She can't, especially with variants going around, she probably didn't want to like be with too many people. So I
Right,
get it. They probably have to minimize her scenes. She probably can only be with like one or two people a scene.
right.
Um,
I'm trying
but
to think who else.
um,
No,
yeah,
none of
like
the
so
no Nicholas
so
scenes. We saw
right.
Elizabeth Taylor, but like I don't know. I just feel like you could have seen like the crazy moments, the explosions, like the stuff that makes the show exciting. Like,
Yeah, there was yeah. I mean, they did show a couple but again, it was just like the Sunny clips with his dad, the Sunny clips when he was with the bipolar storyline, which are good storylines, but you could have clipped it to show other stuff. Like,
right.
there was a lot of storylines in 60 years, not just those two. Um, I did like they showed the clip of the first episode with Steve treating the
Hmm.
sticker faced woman, which was that was intriguing to me too. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch early stuff. I gotta go way back. And then it started as a half hour show, which I didn't remember. I thought it was, but then I think some of them only were 15 minutes back then in the 60s.
Really?
Yeah, Search for Tomorrow was 15 minutes.
Wasn't Guiding
Edge of
Light when
Night,
it was a radio show? Wasn't it only like 15 minutes?
I think so. I think even when it went to air, I think it was 15 minutes or a half hour.
Hmm.
Everything was short. Nothing started out as an hour. At
Yeah,
least before Young and the Restless came. I think YN, oh, no, maybe YNR was only a half hour too. I'm not sure.
they were. Yeah, they were only half hour.
Yeah. And Bold, I remember them mentioning Bold, like trying to make it an hour, but I don't know what happened to stop it. But I know
Susan
they
Flannery didn't
tried
want to
several
do an
times.
hour show.
Two,
Susan Flannery said she wasn't doing an hour show.
I will not do an hour show. I mean, she left anyway, so
She
nobody
was
can.
tired.
Bold can use an hour. Like it's been good enough. I feel like they could use an hour, but whatever.
Yeah,
They'll never soap us up anymore. We're going soap down, unfortunately.
the bubbles are
It would
dying.
be nice. It would be nice. As I met Tristan Rogers recently, and he said he's working on some kind of soap opera drama on the side that he's going to try to get out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I've
So,
I've only watched the first two seasons of The Bay, but he's on The Bay.
yeah, the Bay's awesome. I got to continue that. I think I'm in season 6. So, I'm 3 seasons behind
Well,
on that.
I've only covered the first two seasons for the podcast, so if you want to rewatch some of the past seasons with me, we could talk about it on the podcast.
We'll discuss that off screen.
Right. um, yeah,
Um,
so like I enjoyed it. It was cute. So the ending. Now, I know you said you were kind of
uh,
avoiding Twitter yesterday because you didn't want to be spoiled about
I
like you
I
want
was
your
spoiled.
opinion to be swayed. You were spoiled.
I saw that. Yeah, you couldn't miss
Well, did you
that.
see earlier in the day that he announced that he was leaving Days? So I almost feel
Yes,
like he had to get ahead of that and announce that so that this could be like a thing. Because if
right.
this happened first, then it's like, oh well, I guess he left Days.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But people
I
respect
like him
it.
on days. I like him on days. I like
Uh,
Harris.
I don't really have strong feelings for him on Days.
I think he's fun. I like him. I mean, he's mostly been brainwashed the whole time he's been there, so,
I wonder what
but I
that means
like
for Ava then if he's leaving or if they'll leave
exactly.
together.
Yeah, they might. I mean, it's already written and done, so who knows?
Also,
But
isn't this like the scab writers? So the scab writers are getting rid of a character.
I'm not positive.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. I know he did his year. He did his year contract of
Yeah,
worth of episodes. So
yeah,
I don't know when he'll come back. I'm assuming February sweeps. I'm not sure.
yeah. I think he came on in March last year, so February, March is probably when he'll be gone.
Yeah.
I wonder if there'll be any overlap with GH because because technically he's gone, so he can work on GH right now.
Right, right.
His stuff was filmed 6 months ago, so
Yep.
he's done. Because there has been overlap with Eileen when she's done both.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I want Eileen Davidson on General Hospital because that's the only soap she never did. So I want her on there. Only soap on air that she has not done.
oh, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like she did Guiding Light? I don't think so.
No. She would have if she was in New York. You don't know.
You don't know her.
You don't know. She's my bestie in my head.
um,
So yeah, lack of clips. I felt like there was a good amount of clips, but they could have easily put in a couple montages, a couple like 2 minute montages of things. I would have liked that.
the reveal of Steve Burton, that was cool. I like how they did that.
Yeah, it was fun. If I
He came out in
didn't, if
his black leather jacket.
I know, and if I know, I kind of wish I did stay off it. So I mean, it wouldn't have been much of a surprise though. I kind of felt like it was leading to that anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
It was almost like an end credit scene because they had already like celebrated. They had money to pay for Pink, like Raise Your Glass. They could have paid for Cliff some more actors to come on.
Yeah, right. I know. They
But
just paid for John Stamos.
so I was thinking about this actually. So I wonder if this was filmed while the strikes were still happening, and that's why they couldn't use certain clips.
It could have been. I'm not sure. I don't think it was filmed that long ago.
Okay.
I think they probably just did it before their Christmas break.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was just something I was like thinking about. I'm like, well, the strikes ended in October. If they filmed this in October, then maybe that had a reason for why it was the way it was.
I mean, it's not like they had to. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could have been, I guess. Maybe they were going to air it early. I don't know. Who knows?
Hmm.
I don't know what the situation is, but um, but
But
all in
yeah,
all, it was okay. It was nice that they gave them a special, so it was cool.
yeah,
Oh, and Noah Rick Springfield came back. He talked about Jackie Zeman.
yeah,
That was nice and sad.
yeah.
But yeah, like you said, they could have shown like her strongest like Bobby moment
Yeah, they could have
from the
showed stuff
BJ
from the
story.
70s, like when she first came on. Wasn't she a hooker?
Right. Yeah,
I feel
she
like
was a
I've seen
hooker.
clips of that, like in old, like back in like the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, and we still have her on the Bay. You have her on the Bay for all these years, so
Yeah.
I wonder how they're gonna write her off of the Bay.
Is there anything else we missed?
No, like you said, they touched on, of course, Luke and Laura's wedding, which you know that wedding dress part was leading up to. I like that Lynn Herring came out in her red dress and she married Alan. Like she was like she blackmailed him into marrying him
Uh,
or whatever. That was fun. And then she said something about the missing hat, which was funny.
See, I didn't know that her and Alan were married. I was
It
watching
was like 5 minutes.
I was watching the BJ's Heart storyline,
Right.
and it kind of came out in dialogue, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that they were married.
Not long at all.
No,
No.
because then
And then
she had a bet
go
with Damian Smith that he could
right.
sleep with Bobby, and she never. Well, she did end up sleeping with him, but she never actually did it. But she got caught kissing him as
Hmm.
like, BJ's dying. So like Tony and her couldn't even comfort each other because of this like affair that he found out, and it was just. And then she ended up sleeping with him anyway. But It was
We had
kind of like,
Damian
well, he
Smith,
already thinks I'm doing it. Might as well. Like,
and Damian Smith was Mitch on
yeah.
Dallas.
Hmm.
I love him.
Oh, full
He's
circle
great.
moment.
I know, right? Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, they had the little clips of like people like what congratulating General Hospital and the Good Morning America people. Of course, that's a
Oh
Shameless
yeah,
plug
Sarah Michelle
on
Gellar.
ABC.
I thought that was cool.
Sarah Michelle Gellar was cool because I'm like, is she a fan? Because
Right.
she was on,
I'm
she
like,
was
you
on
weren't even on the
ABC.
show. Like, it would be different if it was for my children. But I'm like, oh, okay, I like that.
Right. She had to be a fan because I'm like, why would she just be there?
Right.
Um, John Baptiste, which who is he? Do you know him?
No.
I know his name. I hear of him, but I don't know who he is. Molly Shannon, which said she was on General Hospital, and I was like, I gotta look for that
Yeah.
because I
Right.
love Molly Shannon. And then of course John Stamos came on again because they
Mhm.
paid him the most money to be there. He was on the he should have just hosted.
Right.
And then he told the story of how Sammy Davis Jr. Helped get him to play drums on the show, which I thought was cute. Um,
He also talked about how like his father was like, he can't work Sundays because he was still working at like his father's restaurant on Sundays.
yeah,
And then I guess as he got more popular, it got too crazy, and he's like, I gotta quit. Like, I can't.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure everybody was there. Blackie was a big character for those few years. Um, but yeah, I think we covered everything. We found out that General Hospital won Outstanding Drama for 15 years,
Hmm.
or 15 of them, 132
Um,
Emmys.
Even like they didn't show, like we already mentioned Robin, but they didn't show like Robin and Patrick. Like, that was a really popular couple.
Big. I loved Robin and Patrick.
They could have
I
did.
love
I
them.
don't know.
Two
It was
hours. They would be able to cover everything in 2 hours.
right.
I wonder if they like asked, like, hey, listen, we're 60 years and you're asking us to cover it in 40 minutes. Like, can we have an extra 40?
And they were like, no.
Let me ask the ABC head of daytime. No.
um Somebody had tweeted, Lynch shared it with me, that somebody was like, so you're telling me that they have all these clips in that quality and they're not sharing it with us?
That's true. And I was hoping that this would help, like maybe get like older stuff out there. Like, maybe they can bring it to something. I don't
Put it
know.
on put it on Disney Plus. If Disney owns it, put it on Disney Plus.
I agree. I don't have Disney Plus right now, but General Hospital early episodes would make me pay for it. I would definitely. I'd pay $15 a month.
I'm
But
still waiting for
it's.
Peacock to get their shit together and give us
I know you were
Witches.
dreaming, boy. You were dreaming. I'm
I
like, they're
know.
not gonna put that. I would. Are you crazy? They got to go back and get like
I got
all
caught
of
up
it.
in the
Like,
hype. Everybody was talking about it and I got lost in the sauce.
I knew. Like, they have to go back and they have to like watch everything they've ever done, like to know like what money has to be out there for. Like there's a lot behind it. It's like Knots Landing. Like there's so much behind it. Like
I
they
know.
won't release it. So it's just how it is, unfortunately.
It
Although
sucks.
Knots, I feel like would be easy because they cover like with 90210, they replace the songs that are popular. Like,
Or they cut the scenes, which is ridiculous
right,
because Jamie Walters was a cast member on the show and they cut
right.
scenes where he performs. I'm like, did he not give the rights to his music that on a show that he was on? Like,
Either that or there's more behind or more to it
right.
than that. Maybe the record label, like didn't
That's
get
true.
money or needs money. There's always something. There's a reason why they do things, and I get that, but I don't care about that. Like music, like I do like original content, like original music and stuff. But to see a show, like I don't need that. Like you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure like if people want to watch old episodes, they
If
don't
it's the
need
only way I
money.
can see it, then give it to me.
Exactly,
Um,
exactly. I'm the same
Unfortunately,
way.
if I know there's an alternative, I want to see the original. Like,
Which is fine.
yeah,
And if you can find the original, go
yeah,
for it. But if I would rather have the content out there, like I'm watching for the stories, not like
yeah,
the different music that's out there. That's
yeah.
probably like the least of my worries.
And
Um,
so, like, I didn't see Melrose on TV. Like, I watched it on DVD for the first time. So if there was any music using that, it wouldn't phase me because I didn't know any different. I just know whatever was on the DVD.
it is funny
Um,
though, like when you watch the DVDs and some of those songs you hear, or when you know how bad their songs are, you're like, you know something else was
yeah,
good.
there's that, and then there's kind of overlap. They use the same stock music on the 90210 DVDs, so I'm just like, oh, this is
Yeah.
fake. But like, I don't know what the real one is, so it doesn't matter.
Right, right. It was whatever was popular at the time was, honestly. Like
Yeah.
I remember, because I did watch Melrose Place, and you know what? I'm disappointed because I had recorded them all off of Style Network up until, like I told you, I saw the last season of Melrose. Um, and I recorded them like off Fox, and I sold them on eBay.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. I tried to sell them on eBay as VHS sold as blank, but yeah.
He's just kidding, FBI agent.
Kidding. I made no profit. $1.
But yeah, so I don't know. I saw an article that said that between that and The Golden Bachelor, that it was a ratings hit for ABC. So hopefully that means something.
Definitely. Well, it was everywhere on Twitter. Like I couldn't get away from it. So that's why I'm like, I just gotta lay off Twitter for the night. It was so much. That's good.
Yeah,
Hopefully we get a day special, but that'll be on Peacock in two
yeah,
years.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for our thoughts on the General Hospital 60th anniversary special. As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great night. Bye.
Bye.